Hello, everyone. I hope you're having a good week and a relatively stress-free end of the semester. I know it's a stressful time, but hopefully I'm not adding too much stress to your plate. So let's talk about assignments. Obviously, I did not get you the video for the Organic Farmer Natural Sound package last Thursday. I believe that was April 9th. I did that because a lot of you expressed that you were having trouble getting your traditional news package in on time. I just wanted to start spacing out some due dates a little bit more. I'm going to try to go back and space out the due dates for the rest of the semester even more so, just to try to make this as pain-free of a end of the semester as possible. So I am giving you the Organic Farmer package materials today. I, of course, do not expect you to have those turned in by this Thursday. In fact, I would ask that you take a look at the revised schedule that should be up on ELC by now for its actual due date. But again, I'm trying to give everyone as much time. And of course, if you need more time, just let me know. So without any further ado, let's dive into the Organic Farmer Natural Sound package. Now, a natural sound package is a little bit different than a traditional news package. We are, of course, going to go over that before you go out and make your own natural sound packages. But before we even go over the differences between a traditional news package and a natural sound package, I'm actually just going to have you come in and make a natural sound package based on someone else's script. Very similar to what we did with the Irmacats package, where I gave you a lot of source video, I gave you a script, and I asked you all to just kind of run with it, of course, with a little bit of instruction from me. Now, this is a little bit less ideal because we can't be working in class. So what I've decided to do is, as you can probably tell by the runtime of this video, it's not a super short one. I am just going to go ahead and just sit down and edit the Organic Farmer natural sound package, or at least I'll edit for about an hour or so, and then I'll try to go really, really slowly, and I encourage you all to follow along with me as best you can. And whatever I get done in an hour, I encourage you to follow my steps exactly and use it kind of like a tutorial. I'm aiming to do about half of the package. We'll see actually how far I get. But because I will be going slow, I will be trying to explain every single step that I take along the way. So without any further ado, I should have distributed a download link with you all for the Organic Farmer news package. I hope you have downloaded that. And if you haven't, just a forewarning, this is not going to be a fast download. The file size is about 3.5 gigabytes, so it might take it a minute to download, especially if you are all trying to download it at once, because I've had that problem where if everyone's trying to download something from a Google Drive all at once, it just slows it way down. So this might be something that you set to download and you just kind of walk away for an hour or two. That is totally fine. Once you do download it, I just want you to make sure, because as I said, here's the file on my computer. As I said, it is not a small file. You are going to definitely not want to put this on your desktop. Instead, I would recommend putting it somewhere in your documents, or if you're like me, I have an external hard drive that I have here labeled with my last name. You can just place it in an external hard drive. So when you open up the Organic Farmer folder, you will see my folder structure that I have. I encourage you to do one thing first. I encourage you to go down to 007 Documents, open it up, go into Scripts, Nat Sound package. Make sure that you are using the 007_03_B_ Nat Sound package, not the one up here that says narrated package, because, well, we're making a Nat Sound package. And you can either open up the Word document or the PDF. Either one of those works. I have already opened up the Word document right here, and hopefully this will be a good enough guide for you to be able to make the package, especially if I get us started. So I'm going to go ahead and minimize that. The next thing I would recommend you coming in here and doing is going back, going to the project files, and opening up the, I guess it's labeled with my name, Matt Binford Organic Farmer 2019. Once you've done that, you will most likely be presented with this media offline message. In fact, I'd be willing to bet money that you were presented with the media offline message. This should not worry anyone at this point in the class because we should know how to fix this by now. But for those of you who may not, let's go ahead and just resolve this little media offline issue. So I'm just going to go ahead and pick this very first one, and the deal is I have to find it. So I'm going to go over here, make sure that just, this one's highlighted, the BD display flowers.mov. It really doesn't matter which one you have highlighted, just make sure that one of them is highlighted and go down to locate. Now what you're going to want to do is you are going to want to go through your folder structure to where you have the big Organic Farmer folder saved on your computer. So I can see Organic Farmer. Now to get this error, I actually had to create a new folder, so that's why this one is named Organic Farmer 001. I was just trying to replicate the error so that we could go through it. But you're going to want to go wherever you saved the organic folder file or the Organic Farmer folder on your computer. You're going to want to go and select Organic Farmer and then come down here to Video Imports. And we're going to go to Camera Files, and I believe it's in Originals, and we're just going to hit the search button. And hey, look, it didn't take it very long. It found it right away. I'm going to go ahead and hit OK. Now it's going to go ahead and automatically try to find as many of those files in that folder as it can. And hey, it actually found them all. You might still be presented with some similar graphics issues for the full screen templates and lower thirds. If the only thing that you have that is not locatable are graphics, then you are fine to move on. Otherwise, just repeat the steps that I just took and you should find all of the video. Again, you may still have the weird graphics saying that they're offline. That is okay. We're not going to worry about that right now. Instead, we're just trying to locate all the video. So we are here, and there are a couple things that I want to do first. First of all, I want to go to File, Save As, and because I don't want this named Matt Binford Organic Farmer. I do want this named Matt Binford, but I want you to go File, Save As, and rename the project with your name. So I'm going to call it Matt _ Binford Organic Farmer _2020. And I'm going to go to save. There we go. And then next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come down into my sequences folder. And hence the name Sequence Rename Me. I'm going to rename this and call it my last name, Binford Organic Farmer. And you know what? I will go ahead and put an underscore there too. So now you'll notice I've changed the name here, and it has changed the name here as well. And now we are finally ready to start editing. So the very first thing I'm going to come and do is I'm going to go to my script, and I'm going to start looking for, in the audio side of the script, and I'm looking for a gnat pop of farm noise with birds chirping. Now that actually isn't super helpful because it's no text or anything, but I'm going to guess that gnat sound is probably from this video, BD picking lettuce side. So I'm going to go, once again, minimize this and go into my B-roll, and we are looking for BD picking lettuce side, which is right there. And now I'm just going to try to find a specific clip of this where I can hear some birds chirping. So let's just play it for a second. Yeah, there's not a ton. Let's see. You know, this part of the video seems just as good as any. I'm going to go ahead and make an endpoint using the keyboard shortcut I. Actually, I'm going to fast forward a little bit to where he's bending down. Now I'm going to make an endpoint with the keyboard shortcut I. And I'm going to press play for a second. And I could hear a little bit of birds chirping. If you couldn't hear it, I may not be recording the audio super loud from my actual monitor output or from my Premiere output on the YouTube video, but if you actually go in and play BD lettuce picking side, you will hear some birds chirping. And now I'm going to go ahead and, you know what, I actually don't love how he's standing up out of the frame, so I'm once again going to just rewind with J, and let's maybe put an out point here. So what I've done is I've just used the I and O key. So I've right here on the timeline, which you can choose anywhere on this timeline. Just try to find a good section where there are some birds chirping for a couple seconds. So I've chosen this kind of arbitrarily, but you feel free to pick your own section of this timeline. Video that you think looks good, audio that you think sounds good. So once I found a good endpoint, I use the I key on my computer, on my keyboard, the shortcut I. You can also just simply click this button, hence the mark in. Then I played it for a minute or for a few seconds until I felt like I was happy with it, to where I was at this output, and I hit the keyboard shortcut O, or I could have hit this button, and now I have highlighted a small section, and now I am simply going to take this video clip from my source window into my timeline. Now, right away, I've noticed something that since you're opening my file, every single one of you will run into as well. And so notice when I drag it over here, I'm only getting an audio channel. Notice how there's no video channels up here. That is because my source patching is not correct, and I need to fix that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in and remember how I have to have a blue highlight here to have video. So all of a sudden, now I have both an audio and a video channel. And in this case, I put them in V1 and A1, and actually, I think it'd be better if they were in V2 and A2, because this is B-roll after all. It's a little bit of nat sound, but that means that it's B-roll with nat sound. So I actually want this in V2 and A2. So not in these first two tracks, but instead in the second channels. Another thing that I'm interested in, if I just play this, yeah, it's fine, but if I zoom in here, I think I can actually make it sound a little bit better. One, the birds are really, really soft, and we just kind of start right in on it. So instead, I'm going to use the pen tool, which can be found here on your screen, or you can just simply press the P button. And now I'm just going to come in and put a keyframe at the very beginning, and another one maybe here, and let's do there. So now I'm going to take, I've made 3 keyframes, actually, and I might actually come back and make a 4th. Yeah, so now I've made 4 keyframes. I'm just going to simply just drag this first one down a little bit. Drag this second one up. Drag this third one up. And then drag this one down a little bit. So now I should, and it may sound a little bit grainy just because the audio capture wasn't amazing on the original footage, but let's give it a listen now. Yeah, so it's a little bit louder. Unfortunately, that doesn't... I may have just picked a bad part of this video where there aren't a lot of birds chirping, because most of what we hear when it gets loud is just kind of grainy audio, and then you hear it get soft again. So it goes from soft, it slowly fades up, the audio is loud, and then it fades back down again. So for now, I'm just going to say that I'm happy with this. We, of course, may come back to this in just a second and change it up a little bit. So next, we hear there's definitely a movement happening here, and we are looking at BD picking lettuce. So a couple things here. This is from the SOT BD interview 4. Okay, so that is where we are going to find pretty much all of this audio, but BD interview 4 is not on screen. So hopefully you can identify what that means. What it means is we are going to be playing his voice, but not showing his face. So the first thing I want to do is just go through and find his voice. So I'm going to go to, actually I'm going to have to back out because this should be found in interviews. There it is, BD interview 4. And what was I looking for again? There's definitely a movement happening. It's not just here, it's worldwide. So I have some markers already made. Let's see.
Out to the public, and you've got all your beautiful.
That's not it.
See a movement going on?
There's definitely a movement happening. It's thing in it by
so this is actually, it's going to black every single time I press pause. Not really sure what's up with that, but we're just going to roll with it for a second. I'm going to go ahead and make an endpoint.
There's definitely a movement happening. It's not just here, it's worldwide, and in a way like a,
and we were going for it's not just here, it's worldwide. So I'm going to rewind this just a scooch.
It's worldwide,
and I'm going to use the O key to make an out point. So now I've just simply made an endpoint and an out point. I hope that you're not experiencing this weird black video glitch, but if you are, it should be fine once we move it to the timeline.
There's definitely a movement happening. It's not just here, it's worldwide.
And I'm actually just going to move this underneath the video before it just a little bit. And probably just shorten this up. Actually, I'm going to shorten it right up to the keyframe I made there, and then just bring this video on in. Also,
it's worldwide.
As soon as he finishes worldwide, I didn't make a super great cut on this, so I am going to come in and zoom in a little bit. I can see that this little kind of mountaintop in our audio channels, that looks to be him saying the word worldwide. So then right here, I'm actually going to just shorten this up. So now hopefully we're a little bit better and cut him off right after worldwide.
Happening. It's not just here, it's worldwide.
Okay, that looks good to me. So now let's go and try to find the B-roll that's should be on top of that video. So, actually I was a little mistaken. We want to continue this BD picking lettuce video through him saying there's definitely a movement. So we want BD picking lettuce close up to come with the word happening. So I'm going to come back to Premiere.
There's definitely a movement.
And I actually want to continue this video this specific this B-roll clip all the way till he almost says happening. So let's watch it again.
There's definitely a movement happening. It's not just here, it's.
And I'm actually just going to have this audio fade out just a little bit later and continue going a little bit longer. So the reason I've done that is so that the audio fades in. We honestly probably hear a little bit too much natural sound here at the very first part.
There's definitely a movement happening.
4 seconds is probably about where, we're right at 3.5 to 4 seconds. And that's right at the max of what I'd want from this Nat Pop. So I'm just going to leave it so that our Nat Pop is about 4 seconds long.
There's definitely a movement happening. It's
Perfect. So now I'm going to come back to the script, and I'm looking for BD picking lettuce close-up hands. So let's go back to B-roll. BD close-up picking lettuce hands right here. And now I'm just going to pick any part of this video that I like. I am just going to go with this. So I'm going to create an endpoint with the keyboard shortcut I. He's picking some lettuce. I'm not super worried about my out point here because I'm going to let the script designate that. I'm just going to go ahead and bring it over and back it right up next to the other B-roll in the video 1 or video 2 and audio 2 channels. And how long do I want that B-roll to last? I want it to go, it's not, I want it to start with the word happening and it to end with the word here. So I'm going to come back to Premiere. Oops. So happening.
It's not just here.
And now I'm just going to shorten that. And then for its worldwide, back to, I'm looking at BD lettuce wide shot. So I'm going to just have, and this shot's only going to be there for just a second, and that's fine. It's worldwide. And so we're going to come back to Premiere. I'm looking for BD lettuce wide shot. Or BD picking lettuce wide shot. What was the name of it again? Sorry. BD picking lettuce wide shot. And once again, I'm just going to pick anything that I like. I don't love how the camera's moving here. So I'm just going to pick something from the kind of beginning. So we're just going to go with an I and an O to make an in point and out point. Again, I'm not as worried about my out point here because I'm going to let the script decide when the out point is. And the script calls for it to be at the end of the word worldwide. Let me double check that. Yes. Because then we are going to come back to this cutting radicchio in field. So yeah, this is literally, that little BD wide shot is only up for just a second. So I'm actually just going to go ahead and have it cut off at the end of the shot here. So let's go ahead and just watch what we've done.
There's definitely a movement happening. It's not just here, it's worldwide.
So there are a couple things, and you might wait until the end to go through and fix all of this, but we do have some discrepancies in the NAT sound. So overall, I liked what we just saw, but what I am going to go ahead and do is just drop this NAT sound down a little bit so that it matches more with where the NAT sound from the first clip ended.
There's definitely a movement happening. It's not just here, it's
and I'm going to do the same thing with this third clip.
Worldwide.
So let's hear it again.
There's definitely a movement happening. It's not just here, it's worldwide.
So notice I didn't just drop it to 0 because I did still want to hear it. It's still an important part of the video that we're watching. I just don't necessarily want it to be overpowering our audio. So next, I'm going to come back into our script, and we are going to notice it says, don't show BD SOT, stay with B-roll. All right, good to know. But I am going to go back into BD Interview 4 and first try to find this clip. So many people are now aware that getting it directly from the producer is the way to go. So without any further ado, let's go back into our interviews tab. We're going to BD Interview 4. I believe it's this one.
The producer is the way to go.
It sure is. So
so many people.
all right, and so right around here, 13 minutes 11 and 10 frames, I'm just going to go ahead and put an endpoint.
So many people now are aware that getting it directly from the producer is the way to go.
And I'm going to press pause and put in an out point. Now I want, because this is a SOT, I want this to go in video 1 and A1. Now, just a refresher, if I were to simply hit the comma key, it's going to place it in my timeline, but, sorry, my cat just jumped up on the desk. Now you'll notice it goes in the timeline, but it goes into the video 2 and A2 channels. Now, bonus points if you already knew this, but the reason that happened is because I have my source patching highlighted for those channels instead of V1 and A1. So I'm just going to go ahead and Control Z, which is just simply edit, undo, and instead change my patching to V1 and A1, put my cursor right here on the end of this video, and I'm going to hit comma. And so now here's my interview. It's just backed right up with the other one. Let's go ahead and hear it.
Worldwide, so many people now are aware that getting it directly from the producer is the way to go.
All right, so that looked good to me. Now we just need to find the B-roll that goes on top of it. So in this case, we are looking for cutting radicchio in the field. I hope I'm saying that right. We're going to go B-roll and cutting radicchio in field. And I'm going to put my endpoint kind of early on. Sorry about this weird black video thing. And we're going to let it cut for a second. I love it. And now we're going to hit the out point. And I'm just going to go ahead and just drag and drop it into video channel 2. And let's take a look. Where is that supposed to end? So many people are now aware that getting it directly from the producer is the way to go. So it should end right after the word directly.
So many people now are aware that getting it directly. So many people now are aware that getting it directly from the...
And so this actually brings up an interesting thing that I want to mention and allows me to talk about a different tool really quick. I don't really love how I've cut this in the end. If the video was going to be longer, I like the whole motion all the way up from I'm just going to, just for a second, mute this channel so that I can play it while also talking. So I don't love how we're having all that motion. If I was extending the B-roll out and showing the full range of motion, then I think it'd be fine. Like if the video was instead this long. I like the fact that we go from the ground up here and then we watch him cut those leaves off. But alas, this is going to be as long as our video is. So instead of watching him pick up the radicchio, I just want to have it start with him cutting the leaves off. Now, I could come back and just change my in and out points here, or I can come to the slip tool, and I can use the slip tool to change the in and out points. So now what you'll see is I know that this is a little bit confusing, but now what you see are new in and new out points. So if I go back to the original, this is about where we started, where the end point was somewhere around 10:18:57, and the out point was somewhere around 10:18:59. But so instead, I'm just going to drag these over so that now my new end point, which is the screen on the left, starts out with him cutting the leaves off, and my new out point is around 10:19:03. So now if I am to watch it, yeah, I think that's better, although it did flicker to black real quick, which I don't love, and I'm not really sure why that's happening. Interesting. It looks like there are 2 frames of black in here. Well, I'm just going to cut them out for now. Well, that didn't work. Oh, there's another frame of black too. Well, I'll cut it out as well, but I don't love this. You know what? I'm just going to... I've shown you the slip tool, but let's just get rid of that cutting radicchio and field. I don't see it over here. Yeah, there it is. Alright, so we'll just start our endpoint after that fact. We'll let it go for a second. We'll bring it in, and it is going specifically to... let me unmute this channel.
So many people now are aware that getting it directly.
And it goes to the word directly, so we'll just move it along.
Worldwide, so many people now are aware that getting it directly from the producer.
All right. Sorry about that minor inconvenience, but hey, it did give me an excuse to show off the slip tool, which is a tool that we haven't really talked about, but it's simply the keyboard shortcut Y, or it's located right here in your toolbar. All right, so after the word directly, we're going to veg box foreground worker background from the producer is, and we just hear from the producer is the way to go. So we're going to just make sure that I end this on directly.
Directly from the.
All right, and then we're going to veg box. And it looks like all this video is pretty similar, so I'm just going to make an endpoint. Press play, make an out point, and we're just going to bring it in here into video channel 2 and tighten it up with the end of this clip. I believe that that's correct. Yes, that is correct. All right, so now let's once again reassess where we are. I'm just going to drop these Nat Sound these bits of Nat Sound down to be a little more consistent with everything. And let's give the entire thing a watch.
There's definitely a movement happening. It's not just here, it's worldwide. So many people now are aware that getting it directly from the producer is the way to go.
Yeah, and I'm having all sorts of black flicker issues, but we're just not going to worry about that right now. I wonder if that's has something to do with the fact that I've downloaded this from... well, if you guys have the black flicker issues, let me know. It might be a problem with the download, because I guess I can only upload and download this video so many times, huh? Anyway, we're just going to keep moving on and putting this video together. Next, we're looking at BD carrying box. So this is a wide shot of him walking towards the camera, and we have a nat pop during this clip. So let's go ahead and go back to, we're looking for BD carrying box. It's the very first piece of B-roll. And we specifically want him walking to the camera. So we're gonna, I think, were we calling for a wide shot here? Yeah, we're looking for the wide shot. So I think right around here is perfect. And we're just gonna have that go for a couple seconds. It is, once again, it's B-roll. So we're gonna put it in the B-roll channel. Now, I am going to go ahead and shorten this up significantly because there's no reason I want to see him walking that far. And we are going to have a nat pop, but I also don't want listen to this harsh, listen to the natural sound and how it just will just jump right up if I press play here. It wasn't too bad, but we can make it better. So I'm going to use my pen tool. I'm going to, once again, make a little mountain with my audio tracks. So I'm going to place 4 key points or keyframes, which is, that's the term of these little, what these little points are called, keyframes. And now I'm just going to drag it down to be more consistent with this natural sound. I'm going to raise up because we want a little nat pop. And then I'm actually just going to drag back down about to -6 again. And then honestly, that's as much as I really want to show. So that's about as much of the nat pop as I want. And then I want a little bit of that video to stay there for when he says, "My name is BD Douch." So for now, let's just leave the video, this clip as is, but listen to this nat pop. I'll back it up a little bit farther. So I'm actually going to make it a little bit longer because that was real quick. And now I'm going to extend the clip a little bit farther.
Is the way to go.
All right. Now I'm going to go to, I believe it's BD interview 1.
And we grow about 100 different, which is a that we're farming on. It's all certified. Okay, my name.
Oh, it's right here, right at the start.
Okay.
So I'm going to try to cut off his okay, and I'm going to place an endpoint here.
My name is BD Douch.
And there's my out point. And now I want this to go right about where my natural sound trails off. So I'm just going to go ahead and bring it right in there. And I actually want to keep this clip going all the way till the end. So let's give it a watch.
Producer is the way to go. My name is BD Douch.
All right, so we had one little issue here. I don't know if you heard, but we have a little pop in the audio.
My name is.
You hear it? Let's try it again.
My name. Go. My name.
So once again, I'm actually going to use the pen tool to try to help me out a little bit here. And I have a feeling he starts his "my name is BD Douch" right here. I'm going to guess that this is the word "my." So I'm going to place a keyframe here and a keyframe here, and we're just going to have that fade in a little bit better. Let's try it.
My name is BD Douch.
Did that sound better or what? We don't have that kind of popping "my name is BD Douch." Let's hear it one more time.
My name is BD Douch.
And then what comes after that? I think I probably should have extended this clip a little bit farther. Because we're looking for "my name is BD Douch" and I have Earthtrine Farms. So let's just listen.
And I have Earthtrine Farm.
And did I have anything else after that? And we've got about 10 acres in Ojai and 5 acres in Carpinteria. All right. So I actually cut this clip way early. So let's just go ahead and extend it out quite a bit and listen to where it cuts off.
And we've got about 10 acres in Ojai and 5 acres in Carpinteria that we're farming on. It's all certified organic by CCOF.
Okay, so we want it to end after certified
and
organic.
And Outfitters, Lost and on. It's all certified organic.
Oops. Now I'm going to come back here. It's all certified organic. And I, of course, have some B-roll that I need to put on top of this. So the first thing I'm looking at is BD carrying a box, medium shot. Looks right. So this is actually from that same clip that we just used. So let me go back into the B-roll folder. BD carrying a box. It's the very first one. But now we're looking for the medium shot, which is a little bit farther back here. And let's see how long we want it. BD carrying a box looks right. And I have. And then we'll cut to a close-up of his boots from the same clip. So I've made this way too long.
And I have.
So we're going to bring it in and then cut the out point to match where we have it in the script.
Douch, and I have.
Yep, we end after have, and so now we're looking for close-up of his boots. It's in this same clip. Yep, there it is. I think that'll work. I'm going to let it walk all the way out of the frame, and we'll bring it over and just see if that works for us. So we want it to say... Oh, and I have Earth Trine Farms, so it's actually not going to stay for very long.
Earth Trine Farm.
Actually, it kind of works. It kind of works. I kind of like it walking out of the frame. So we'll have
Earth Trine Farm, and
he walks right out. I'm just going to end it just a scooch earlier.
And we've got.
And now the next clip we need is BD carrying a box medium shot from behind. So it's same clip. Oh, right here. Go ahead and put an out point. How long does it go? And we've got about 10 acres in Ojai.
And we've got about 10 acres in Ojai.
So actually, my out point is pretty much perfect. And then we're looking... Oh! And here we go. And then we're going to cut to his interview. Perfect.
Ojai and 5 acres in Carpinteria that we're farming on. It's all certified organic.
All right, and this is exactly how we want it to look. So we cut from... we basically have this one BD carrying a box shot, and it... Sorry, while I talk, I'm just going to mute the audio channel. And then once we have him carrying the box, or finishing carrying the box, we are going to cut it to a clip of him talking. And this is also where our first graphic is going to come into play. So we'll just briefly watch this whole clip again, and then we'll talk about graphics.
My name is BD Douch, and I have Earth Trine Farm, and we've got about 10 acres in Ojai and 5 acres in Carpinteria that we're farming on. It's all certified organic.
And that looks pretty good to me. So now let's talk about the graphics. So if you were able to import the Grady News Source graphics for the Irmacats package and use them on Irmacats, you can still, of course, use them here. If you did not do that, no worries. We can instead just come over and use one of the generic graphics. So I'm going to, it takes it a second. The graphics panel uses a lot of RAM, which I'm recording this on my desktop, so we shouldn't have too much of a hassle. But, oh, and I have a weird setup, like here's our program window, which normally when, my problem is normally when looking at, normally when I edit on my desktop, I have two monitor, oop, my cat hopped up here again. I have a dual monitor setup, and so by default, my program monitor comes over to my second monitor. But let's just make this a little smaller so that we can see what's going on here. So just for now, I'm just going to have my program window kind of hover here. So let's find a good 2-line lower third. So there's this classic image caption, although keep in mind we need it to have the 2 lines. Here we go. This one will work. Classic lower third, 2 lines. It works for me. So I'm just going to, and I want it to come in right here where we first see his,
and 5 acres in Carpinteria.
Where we first see his picture. So, sorry, I'm just gonna mute this channel. And so I press play, it pops in, but it just says insert name here, add title here. Obviously, that's not what we want. Now, this is a little bit more difficult because, well, have this black video issue. But hey, buddy. My cat jumped up here again. He's super jealous anytime I'm working. He likes a lot of attention. He's more of a dog than a cat sometimes, I think. Although he gets really offended when I call him a little puppy. All right, so a couple things about this graphic. One, it's really small. Two, it says insert title here. So that's obviously something we want to change. So the first thing I'm going to do is just, instead of saying insert title here, oh, and I'm going to type, how do you spell his name? BD, and then DA, oh, Robert BD DAU TCH. This is a little bit more difficult when you are doing it and can't see anything. All right, so I think I typed out Robert BD Dauch. Perfect. And then my second line is organic farmer. All right, I think we are good there. And you can see your title up here as well. So yeah, there we go. So now it's going to pop in. And I know I've muted it, but it'll say Robert BD Dauch, organic farmer.
In Ojai and 5 acres in Carpinteria that we're farming on. It's all certified organic.
Perfect. And that, oops, it's going to start over for me. And that actually is good. You can, if you want, make it larger. So for instance, it's more difficult when you can't see it. Hey, buddy. My cat is having a field day. But if you double click on the pink graphic and then come up into your source window and go to effects controls, and again, you have to double click here on the graphic, otherwise you're going to change something else in your timeline. But if you highlight your graphic, go into effects controls and go to scale, you can just scale it on up. But now notice when you scale it up, you're also moving the XY location. So for now, I am going to scale it up and make it quite a bit bigger. So here I can make it really, really small so it like fits right over his mouth. But I'm actually going to make it quite a bit bigger. And now I'm going to move its XY location. Okay, so that might have made it too big. Actually, no, that kind of works. Let's try this. I mean, it kind of looks bad, but we'll make it a little smaller. How about that? So we'll make it about that size, and we will, all right, a little bit bigger than that. I'll take it to like 150. All right, that's just going to be where we are with it. Okay, looks good to me. I'll go ahead and unmute this track. Let's get back into the standard editing mode so that we're not worrying about all my different graphics layout.
And 5 acres in Carpinteria that we're farming on. It's all certified organic.
And then that works for me. Now you're going to notice that the graphic just looks really bad and blurry. That's actually okay at this stage. It just needs to be rendered. You're gonna, when you export it, it's gonna do a render for you anyway. So don't worry if it looks a little wonky at the moment. or looks a little blocky, it just needs to be rendered, and it should clear up for you once that happens. Also, if you really can't deal with it, you can go to Sequence, render selection, render effects into out, and here are your different render options. It takes it a second, so I'm not going to worry about doing it right now. But if you really do want to see what it looks like without the kind of blurry text, you should just be able to render it. All right, let's keep on chugging through. So we've finished this section, correct? And now we're going for the rinsing lettuce nat pop. Now, if you haven't kind of gotten the drift, a big part about a natural sound package is the natural sound. So you'll notice there are a lot of nat pops in this project, and I am hoping to see a lot of nat pops in your projects too. So don't be afraid to really like emphasize these nat pops in this organic farmer package, and like sit on them for a little bit longer than you maybe would have in your traditional news package. So let's go find the rinsing lettuce shot. There it is. I think there's actually a closer up shot of it. Okay, maybe not. So we'll just take this first part. And I'm going to move it over into the B-roll track. And once again, I'm going to kind of play around with the audio channels a little bit. I'm going to do that mountain again, or at least I'm just going to have it fade in from a little bit lesser.
Organic.
And that's a long nat pop, and I'm actually kind of okay with it in this specific instance. And I have a feeling and we grow about 100 different herbs and vegetables is from this same interview clip. So let's go back to our interview file.
And we...
Yep. Make an endpoint right before we start saying the word and.
And we grow about 100 different herbs, vegetables, flowers, fruits, and we sell mostly at the farmer's market.
Let's see when we actually cut this. We sell mostly at the farmer's market. We're looking for restaurants.
And also we sell to caterers, schools, restaurants.
I'm going to bring that into A1 and V1. And here's the deal. I'm going to have it rinse the lettuce, come in, he puts it down. So I'm actually going to go ahead and place a keyframe here as well as here, and just bring that down a little bit. And where did I want... So we're going rinsing lettuce, and we want to hear him say, and we grow about. So I'm actually going to just continue this video through, I'm going to guess that this is, and we grow, I bet about is here. We'll listen.
And we grow about 100,
So this is around where he finishes saying the word about. So what we've done is we've created a really long natural pop,
and we
just kind of kept the video going. So let's give it a watch.
Organic. And we grow about 100 different...
I love it. All right, next, we're looking for a cutting produce in field. Doesn't look like there's a ton to this one. We'll just start out beginning. and bring it into video channel 2. And let's see, how far does it go? 100 different herbs, vegetables. Whoops. So we definitely went too long.
About 100 different herbs, vegetables.
So we'll end it after the word vegetables, and now we're looking for flower rack focus for, while he says fruits and flowers. Oh, that rack focus right here at the beginning. Perfect. And I love the natural sound on that rack focus shot, but let's see. We're just looking for fruits and flowers.
Flowers, fruits, and we sell.
So actually, I think this is a good excuse to use the slip tool again, because I definitely want the rack focus in our shot. So I'm just going to move it over just a little bit. Let's try it now.
Flowers, fruits, and we sell most.
Yeah, and then I'm going to just shorten it up just a little bit.
Flowers, fruits, and we sell.
Perfect. Back to we're looking for the Wrapping Herbs 3, Sunny, close up picks herbs. I'm sure we can find that. Oh, Wrapping Herbs 3, Sunny. All right, so we're looking for this close-up of picking herbs. Then we're looking for a wide shot of reaching for scissors, and then we have a great nap pop. So these two are going to be in the Sunny, and then the nap pop is going to be in are going to be in 3 Sunny, and this one will be in 4 Sunny. So this is probably going to be the last thing I do, just because it's kind of a complicated nap pop. The rest of it, if I remember correctly, is actually pretty straightforward, and I don't want this video to reach into like the 2-hour long movie length. So I'll finish up this nap pop and then let you all work on your own. So we'll get through. I guess we'll go through right up until the time lapse. So we'll cut off right after the word local. All right, so, and it'll still probably take me a few more minutes to get there. So we are looking for Wrapping Herbs 3 Sunny, close up picking herbs. Let's do it. Which looks like that's going to be right here at the beginning. Love the audio for this. We'll go ahead and make an out point. Move it up here. How long does this clip last? It goes through the word also.
And we sell mostly at the farmer's market, and also.
Ooh, that was almost perfect.
And also.
Gonna go all the way through the word also, though. Then I'm going to look for Wrapping Herbs 3 Sunny, wide shot, reaching for scissors. I'm not really sure there is a wide shot here. Okay, so the scissors look to be in his armpit, so bring it down. Let's see how long that goes. We sell to caterers, schools, restaurants.
So we sell to caterers, schools, restaurants.
Oh, so it goes the whole length. All right.
Schools, restaurants.
Oops, started it over. So I actually, here's
So
the thing about this. I
caterers,
don't
schools,
really
restaurants.
I want the, I don't particularly want to see him making these cuts, because I want that for the gnat sound in just a second. So what I'm actually going to do is put a marker here. Take that marker till close to the end of this clip. Now I'm going to bring the clip forward and shorten it.
We sell to caterers.
So he's
schools,
still going to be picking. Now he's
restaurants.
reaching for the scissors. Now I've started the video over again. It just auto restarts. Hold on. And now I'm going to go to... because I want this really good audio right here. So he was reaching, about to make the cut. I'm going to make an endpoint. Make an out point. And there we go. So now I have this really good gnat pop right here. So let's watch the whole thing in real time.
And we sell mostly at the farmer's market, and also we sell to caterers, schools, restaurants.
All right, do you see that shot sequence, how it worked? So he is reaching for the scissors, reaching for them, reaching for them, reaching for them. He's about to make his first cut, and then we cut to him actually cutting. And it almost gives the illusion that we're working with multiple cameras, although it's just because he was doing lots of repetitive motion that this was able to be captured with just one camera. So we'll watch it one more time.
And we sell mostly at the farmer's market, and also we sell to caterers, schools, restaurants.
Then once we're done with that little gnat pop, we're going to go right back into BD interview 1. We try not to do any shipping, and we try to keep it all local. And during that, we are going to go back to... no, we're not going back to his face. So we're going to extend this Wrapping Herbs for Sunny clip just a little bit, and so that he can say that one sentence. Then we're going to cut to Wrapping Herbs Sunny, where he tosses it into the box for the last sentence. So let's go ahead and just find the soundbite first.
To do any shipping. But you know, it's not after roads. No, we don't. It's to stand only one store. We try not after roads. No, we don't. Only one store.
All right, so I'm going to make the endpoint right before we try not to do any shipping.
Or we try not to do any shipping. We try to keep it all local.
And make an out point. And I'm going to bring that, down into audio and video 1.
Or we try not to.
And now
to do any shipping.
I'm going to simply extend this clip. So we hear the nice sound bite.
Or we try not to do any shipping.
All right, so once again, we hear that weird kind of popping noise right here at the beginning. So I'm going to try to get rid of that with just a little quick fade in.
Or we try not to do.
Ooh, still have it. Oh, whoops. The reason we have it is because I put my keyframes in my video channel instead of my audio channel. So let's try this again.
Or we try not to do any shipping.
That sounds better.
We try to keep it all local.
And of course, we started it over again. Hold on. And because there's not a lot of background noise here, I'm actually okay with just leaving the gnat sound all the way up, because all you can really hear are the clips.
Or we try not to do any shipping.
And now we're trying to get him tossing the herbs in the box from Sunny 3. Oops, no, we're going to the B-roll folder. And we want, let's say, we'll try right here. And I want to make sure that it goes right here at the end of this last clip, but I also really like to see
Local.
her make it into the box. So once again, I'm actually just going to go ahead and shorten this clip, and I'm once again going to use Y for the slip tool. When you use the slip tool, you just press Y, then hover your cursor over it, and I want the out point to be after. So here I'm really looking at the out point, which is the screen on the right, and I want the out point to be after the I don't know, whatever kind of plant this is lands in the box. So like right there maybe. So now let's give it a watch.
Do any shipping. We try to keep it all local.
Perfect. All right. So that is where I'm going to end off. Let's just watch it one more time before I go over just a couple quick other things to remember. But let's watch it once from the beginning, shall we?
There's definitely a movement happening. It's not just here, it's worldwide. So many people now are aware that getting it directly from the producer is the way to go. My name is B.D. Douch, and I have Earth Trine Farm, and we've got about 10 acres in Ojai and 5 acres in Carpinteria that we're farming on. It's all certified organic. And we grow about 100 different herbs, vegetables, flowers, fruits, and we sell mostly at the farmers market, and also we sell to caterers, schools, restaurants. We try not to do any shipping. We try to keep it all local.
All right, so that is roughly the first half of this video. It's a little bit shorter. It's about 1:40, I believe. Let's just take a look at the total running time. Total running time is actually 1:54. But we've done roughly about half of it together. And so I'm going to ask that you do the second half on your own. Of course, if you have any questions, feel free to contact me. I'm happy to do a Zoom meeting where we can kind of screen share and show each other what we can do. Also, one more thing, keep in mind, this is a Nat sound package, and one thing that I've kind of neglected is adjusting the audio levels. But if you'll notice, the audio levels, as I just kind of scrubbed through, are peaking above -12, so you're going to want to make sure you fix that. For the most part, it's going to be an easy fix. You can probably get away with just lowering your volume line by like 4 decibels. Yeah, see, that works right there. But just keep in mind, I am going to be really looking at your audio levels, so try to make them look good. Emphasize those nat pops. You know, don't be afraid to like really make them a focal point of the video. Don't be afraid to put a little bit of your own flair onto this. I know we're following a script pretty rigidly, but you know, you can make a nat pop last for a little bit longer if you think that that like works for the video. Again, if you have any questions, let me know. I hope you're all having a wonderful week. Let me know if there's anything I can do to help. Let me help you is what I'm trying to say. And until next time, I hope y'all stay safe and healthy. Stay inside, y'all.